Main fight. Talk us through it, Simon Jordan.
Virgil Ortiz, Erickson Lubin.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of that episode.
Before we watch the video, we just wanted to ask you a massive favour.
We just wanted to ask you if you could please take a minute to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and also check out our TikTok for short content and daily updates.
We really want to keep growing the Boxing 365 community and keep making content like this for yourselves, the boxing fan.
And most of all, thank you and enjoy the video.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Boxing 365. For our latest episode of the next card in the deck, we've got Dare to Enter, which is courtesy of Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, live on the zone in Texas at the Dickies Arena.
Big one, isn't it? It's a big one.
It's quite a big one, I suppose, especially for any American supporters.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll be honest, on that, I'm going to try not to shout today because I find myself doing that.
Don't whisper too much because you do that as well.
Do I? Right, okay.
Just a whole mess.
Is this going to be an episode of criticising me? Okay.
Ideally.
I'm all right with that. So what I would like to say is, in regards to our audience, we did a little bit of analytics yesterday, and we are proud to say that we have got an American audience.
Yeah.
And
about
I would
5%
like
or something.
5% of our audience. So I would like to make sure that for anyone that isn't aware, we are appreciative and we're grateful for all our audience. We've also got a bit of an audience in Africa and Germany as well. So I want to give a shout out to them.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Main fight. Talk us through it, Simon Jordan.
Virgil Ortiz, Erickson Lubin.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of that episode.
12 rounds for the WBC interim world super welterweight title.
Yeah. I'm going to start with my frustrations regarding Ortiz.
Okay.
So, obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, massive fan. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Now, I don't think it's necessarily Ortiz's fault. Maybe his promoter.
Okay.
Oscar De La Hoya has quite regularly called him the most ducked fighter on the planet. Yet he continues to fail to sign paperwork to sign people. So I think that might be a misphrase of maybe he's the most king.
Okay.
My point being is they've been calling for the boots in his fight.
Yeah.
And I know that he's obviously got this to deal with, and Erickson Lubin is a very good operator.
Yeah.
But the paperwork has been signed on Boots' end, which has been confirmed.
Have you seen it?
I'll be honest with you, he sent me over the draft and said, does this look right? And I just, obviously I had a few years.
Yeah.
And I just said,
yeah.
Turns out he's bought a caravan in Butlins. Yeah, brilliant. No, my point being though is, without going on it, is just, it frustrates me that Virgil is still an interim champion. Like, you're defending your interim belt. What are you waiting for? Sebastian Fundora, full champion. Make that fight. Yeah. Go and make that fight. Go and win the full belt. Because Virgil Ortiz is very, very good and has the potential to win belts through multiple weight classes, because technically he's a lot better than people give him credit for. He hits exceptionally hard. I just think we're waiting for him to kind of really take that I'm a pound for pound superstar at the sport. But that's my frustrations out of the way. Other than that, it's a very interesting fight. And I think people have given Lubin some unfair stick on this one, where they've gone, why is he fighting Lubin? What's the point? What's this? What's that? I mean, you've got the data.
Really, number 7 in the world by BoxRec, to Ortiz being ranked 3rd. He's got 27 wins, 2 losses, but his losses were to Sebastian Fundora and Jamal Charlo.
At least Lubin decided to make that fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is something to be said for that, though, isn't there? Going out and taking those fights.
Absolutely.
Regardless of nothing's ever nailed on, so you've got to find out, haven't you, some way. So you went and did it.
You learned that Lubin is world level, but he's not a world beater, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine. In this fight, I think what we'll learn about Virgil is, if he struggles with Lubin, and look, it's not a nailed on conclusion, because Lubin is awkward. He's southpaw. He fights at a lot of angles, likes to counter punch, got quick hands.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how he deals with that. But it's one of them frustrating fights for me, where I really rate Lubin, and Lubin's got his own career path, but I just really want to see Ortiz go, I'm going to step up the levels now.
Yeah.
Make the Boots fight. And there's others. I know a few of them are tied up, but even Go and fight another champion. Win another belt. Abbas Baru?
Abbas Baru, yeah.
Abbas Baru. No disrespect to him, but he's not a strong world champion. Go make that fight. Make that fight, and then look to unify.
Yeah.
But I don't want this to be a ranting show about Virgil Ortiz, so I apologise.
No. I think, like you say, people shouldn't overlook Lubin. He's got 19 stoppages of his own as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he has been stopped. He was stopped by Fundora and Charlo, though, which doesn't necessarily bode well, does it, against Virgil Ortiz, who's only failed in stopping, I think, Madrimov and Bohachuk. I think he didn't stop either of those.
Which, again, I'm probably going to get some grief because people are going to go, oh, Bohachuk and Madrimov, like, poor fights. No, look, Madrimov, and we spoke about Madrimov in one of our recent videos. They're brilliant. But Madrimov has fell short at the elite level, which is fine. Okay? Again, so has Bohachuk, just coming off a loss to Brandon Adams.
Second loss to Brandon Adams.
Apologies. Another loss to Brandon Adams. You don't do that at the elitist level of this sport. So yes, beating them is good, and to beat them, you've got to be very good. How good are you?
Yeah.
And that, for me, is where the Ortiz thing. One thing I am curious about, but I'm conscious that we don't want to overspill our time into this one, is that Lubin has made a change. He's moved over to Kevin Cunningham.
Yeah.
I believe it's his first fight with Kevin, maybe second. A completely different style of coach to what Lubin's fought before. So I'm curious to see how he approaches this fight.
Yeah.
I would expect Ortiz to start very quickly. And I would expect the middle rounds to be really, really key on this one. Is Lubin going to be able to land enough counter shots to be able to sort of capture some rounds? Realistically, he isn't going to be able to hurt Ortiz. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
I think they've both been pretty active and stayed pretty active really. Since obviously Ortiz didn't fight in 2023, but since then has been picking up the fights.
He had some health issues, didn't he? He had a couple of times where he had to pull out of fights last minute, unfortunately, due to a number of factors. So.
Yeah, but then Lubin, who he fought May this year, but before that it was a long time for him. It was 2023, but he's got that ring rust off now. He's already had his fight, so it's not really any concerns there. I think you're right. I think it's always interesting to see who else is in the division and think about who they could be fighting. But that stuff aside, because obviously we're not in the back rooms and timing's everything, and obviously Boots already had his fight anyway, so things probably just didn't work out, whatever. This is a good fight. I think Virgil Ortiz, with his knockout power and how he's dealt with people up till now, if Lubin's not on it, that could be a problem for him because he has been stopped.
Yeah, and can be hurt.
Yeah, he can be hurt. So I think that if you Virgil Ortiz Jr., you look to go and get him out of there. But
just because I want to move on to some of the other fights, because some really good fights on the card. I want to ask you a question, and it's not a prediction, but it is that if Virgil Ortiz wins this, because that's not a given, but if he wins this fight and he doesn't take that next step next, are you then in a similar boat to me where you go, it's about time. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or am I being unreasonable?
No, probably say that you want him to go and fight a big name. Again, Madrimov and Bohachuk, good names. Fight a big name or a champion.
Yeah.
And start to champion. Dare to be great. Think about unifying, all that sort of stuff. Because if you win a belt and then you try to unify and you bump up against, somebody at an elite level and you lose,
it is what it is.
I
mean, you look at Floyd Mayweather. I think he had 27 consecutive world title fights. I think Inoue is at 17.
Wow.
These are the people that you go, right, we're talking about pound for pound greats, past and present.
Yeah.
That's how you get into them conversations. And I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but Ortiz Jr.'s got a hell of a lot to offer the sport, and I just think it's a shame that he gets matched quite safely.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So by the by, I'll predict the fight later. I'm fed up talking about Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah. So the next one is Darius Fulghum, David Stevens, 10 rounds at super middleweight.
Yeah.
Not for any titles as far as we can tell.
Yep.
Fulghum is 14-1, 12 stoppages, ranked pretty highly by BoxRec as well, 30th in the world.
Yep.
His loss was to Beck the Bully.
Love Bet the Bully.
Yeah, I do like Beck the Bully.
So
liked him for a few years now.
Yeah, I mean we've been following him bloody hell since right at the start.
I think it was a couple of fights before he fought Gabe Rosado.
Yeah, when he got stopped, Gabe Rosado. Yeah,
the fight before that.
I think it was a couple before that. But to be honest, so this for me is self-labeling. As I've just decided, it's winner gets Beck for me. So interestingly, both have lost to Bekdamir.
Yep, they have.
Stevens actually gave a better account of himself in that fight, which is not always, styles make fights. But Stevens, close fight, split decision. Both are going to want that rematch. Beck's in a bit of not no man's land, but he's in that kind of point where it's like sort of he's not quite at the top table.
Yeah.
And he needs to be active. And I think both of them are good fights. I think they're both decent main events for Golden Boy, especially on a smaller card. However, again, without giving the game away, but Fulghum shown in his last fight against Beck, and he admitted it himself that it took a lot out of him from a pride point of view. He didn't have the gears, he didn't have the plan, he didn't have that dimension, and that might come to the fact from a coaching point of view. He's still with the same coach that he came through with. Not a particularly world-renowned coach, and I'm not saying that we saw with Fabio Wardley. You don't have to kick your staff to the curb, but you can grow your team.
But if he's looking to advance and he's looking to improve, he might need to go to somebody who can improve
support it potentially,
and maybe specialise in certain things just to improve and make him that bit better.
We'll learn a lot from this because David Stevens is not a big name, by any stretch, and I think a lot of people looking at it will go, Fulgham's been highly rated, ranked one of the best middleweights in the world from a prospect point of view, blue chip prospect.
He's got a decent name on his record as well, Sean Hemphill.
Really
as a
good.
win.
It was an 8-round fight, stopped him in the 8th.
Yeah.
Massive result because Sean went the distance with Ty Mitchell, which he did win that fight, but he went the distance over 10 rounds, so fit guy, didn't get stopped. Beat Mark Jeffers, who personal favourite of both of ours as far as entertainment value goes. To beat him, you've got to be very good.
Yeah.
But again, I think a little bit underrated.
To stop him even better. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see this one for me.
Yeah.
We'll either learn that Fulgham's got levels and he had a bad night in the office, or we learn that his level's been reached, which is, again, it's okay.
Yeah.
But we know where he's at least short term.
I do think, like you say, probably the most likely or one of the best fights for these two fighters would then be looking at Beck the Bully. But whether that's the right thing for Beck, probably if you've beaten both, you look past that. But
but again, it depends. So at the minute, he's got nothing in the calendar.
Yeah. It's all about the layout at the time, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. And look, I think Bekdamir, I'll be honest with you, I think he's brilliant. We've always said it. He will go on to win world titles. I still think he's got, I don't know, he's not fighting on this card, but I still think he's got that little bit of conscientious of the Gabe Rosado, because that was a horrible knockout. In a lot of people's minds, one knockout of the year. And I still think there's times where people say, oh, he's a bit more measured now. And fine, absolutely. AJ did the same. I'm just conscious that I think that plays in his mind, and
might stop him when
it'll be interesting to see as he continues to go through the levels where he ends up. But yeah, very interesting fight.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Next we've got Robin Safar and Derek Miller Jr. Cruisers, 10 rounds at cruiserweight again.
Second best Swedish cruiserweight in the world.
Yeah, he is. Robin Safar. He's ranked 11 in the world, but currently second best Swedish cruiserweight, only to Badu Jack.
I know, crazy though, that, right, isn't it? When you think about it, like you wouldn't have put a Swede anywhere near that level, generally speaking, if you go in on the sort of the hotbeds of boxing. The fact that there's two right up at the top sort of 15, brilliant for Sweden, brilliant. And I think if Robin, which this is no given because it's a really tough fight, Robin wins it. We made the joke earlier, all Swedish class, Stockholm, do it in like, I don't know, an opera house or something, or maybe on a Viking.
Got to have them in Sweden.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, or a Viking ship.
Yeah.
Maybe that. Maybe on a Viking ship.
Yeah.
Or in the ABBA Museum.
In the ABBA Museum, that'd be a banger.
Yeah, it'd be great.
He's unbeaten so far, 13 stoppages.
Yep.
He's got a very, very good name on his resume.
Yep.
Kovalev, but we talked about this a little bit before we started recording. It's how much you can take from that, because he beat him, but he beat him when, and
He
you've got to
wasn't the
look at it.
Kovalev that fought Anthony Yard, was he?
No,
Do you know what I mean? He
no,
wasn't the monster that everyone avoided.
yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was tail end of his career when he was looking at coming back. So,
But I do still think one thing I would say is that even though you can't take huge amounts from it, Safar was brought in as the perfect match for Kovalev to come back and have one last run at something
yeah,
within
yeah,
that
yeah,
sort of it within boxing. And to be fair, even at that level, Kovalev is tough. He dropped him once in the 10th and final round of that fight. It was in Saudi, a big stage, a stage he'd never fought on. He came out, and to be honest, Kovalev didn't particularly look horrendous. Safar just looked good, and sometimes that's all you need. You need that platform, and I think with this, he's got an unbeaten opponent in front of him. They're
yeah,
both unbeaten. Someone's always got to go. It's that sort of fight again.
yeah.
Um, and it's intriguing because we don't know how good either of these two are. But realistically, the winner, huge doors open.
Yeah, I think so. As far as ranked 11th, but Derek Miller Jr. He's also 18-0, so identical records. But he's ranked 42 in the world.
Yeah.
He's come to boxing a bit late, really. He's 35 years old, and he only had his debut in 2019.
Yeah, nothing massive on the amateur circuit either, with the look of it.
No, it doesn't appear to be that way. No massive wins, really, for him. But that's what I think I said to you when I was looking. I think Safar beating Miller is probably just doesn't do masses for him in
Yep.
terms of his rankings, or maybe what his future opportunities are going to be.
Yep.
But if Miller was to go out beat Safar, I think that goes all right. Okay,
Huge box record. Look at that and go, okay.
Restack those.
Yeah.
Yeah, restack those rankings a bit.
Restack
Maybe
the cards.
restack the cards, shuffle the deck a bit.
Shuffle the deck like that. Much better.
Got it. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Like I say, two unbeaten fighters. It adds that little bit of extra spice to it as well. So
It does. What I would be interested to see, and again, I've not made my prediction on this one yet because it is a difficult one. But what will be interesting is obviously if Safar wins, he'll keep that sort of top 15, maybe even sneak into the top 10 of BoxRec
yeah,
rankings. And people out there, the bigger names, or even some of the sort of the middle of the road names, will start to look at him and go, do you know what? I think he's beatable. He's beatable. I've got a top 20 ranking with BoxRec. I'm sneaking into the top 20, top 15 of one of the governing bodies. Safar's sort of right up and amongst it. He's a winnable opponent for a lot of the names in Britain. You look at people like Billum Smith, Vidal Riley,
yeah.
but then even further afield, we mentioned Badu Jack. You've got I always pronounce it wrong.
Michelangelo. Yeah,
Michelangelo.
yeah. Michelangelo.
Michelangelo, the
Brandon
turtle.
Glanton.
Brandon Glanton, a brilliant fight. Again, someone who's looking to really get back to gate crash in that world scene. Huge opportunities for the winner here.
Yeah, there will be. I think
Huge opportunities.
hopefully it will run into good things for them next. Now, the next fight before we go into just a couple of the honourable mentions, Eric Priest and Correa.
Correa.
Eric Priest 16-0.
Yep.
Debuted in 2020.
Yep.
His last fight was in May this year. He also fought in January, so staying active, which is brilliant. Very prestigious amateur background, really, especially coming out of the US. 2017 Golden Gloves winner and two-time finalist in Ringside World Championships.
Yeah.
And obviously, Oscar De La Hoya thinks he's
the best thing since bread when it was sliced up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I like Eric Priest. I've watched a hell of a lot of his fights over the years, especially when Golden Boy went onto the zone. So, as you'll know, quite regularly on a Sunday morning, match of the day will come on after I've watched the boxing from the previous evening, or the previous early morning. And he's been in and around there. So Eric Tudor Priest, I think is his alias. And he's good, very good, great to be honest. He's shown vast amounts of maturity for his age. I can't remember his age off the top of my head. 26.
26, yeah.
Yeah. So showing a huge amount of maturity for his age. They're not rushing him. This is an 8-rounder, so it's a little bit of a step backwards in the fact that he was fighting in 10-rounders prior.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. It's probably an activity fight, I would assume. The opponent that he's got in front of him, though his record doesn't give credit. He's been a big puncher. He's got a couple of decent wins on there, which I'm sure we'll touch on at some point. But Priest has the ability and clearly the background, as well as from a training point of view. He's trained by Virgil Hunter.
Yeah, he is.
Again, phenomenal trainer, world class, trained and coached Andre Ward for a long time. Priest has all of the fundamentals and all of the characteristics to go and do brilliant things in the sport.
Yeah.
I just worry from a promotional point of view, and this is not me trying to start beef with Oscar De La Hoya. I did that with Dana White yesterday. But you look at the Golden Boy stable, okay,
Yeah.
and you go, right, how many? Yes, everyone will go, he had Canelo. He did. Great relationship that one. Don't talk. Like, Canelo hates him. But I just worry that when it gets to that point, how well will he be matched? How well will he be managed going through them levels?
Yeah.
But has all the ability in the world, and I'm excited to see how he gets on.
Yeah, I think make a mention then of Correa, who is 16-6-2.
He is.
14 knockouts, but he has been stopped in 4 of his 6 losses. Lost to Francis Hogan, Arnold Gonzalez, a couple of others. Probably his best wins got down here: Ravshanbek, Zakov, and Denis Castillo.
Castillo's a good win.
Well, he managed to stop them both.
Yeah.
Well, Castillo retired in the 5th. So
both unbeaten as well when they were facing him as well. So they'd have seen him as a bit of a stepping stone to continue that sort of rise through the rankings.
Yeah.
And he derailed both of them. Because if you look at their careers post Correa,
yeah,
not sure how well that'll get picked up on the mic, but
steep decline.
Very much banana skinned, the two of them.
Yeah.
And he can clearly punch.
Yeah.
It could be interesting how Eric deals with him.
That's what I was going to say, is it's whether it's going to be an issue for Eric Priest. If it is, it's a shame. Maybe it tells you a bit about Correa, but if not, Eric Priest goes on and hopefully continues to do good things. But
unifies 8 weight divisions.
There's plenty of people,
I'm joking,
I would say, around the world, middleweights, that are not going to just roll over for Eric Priest. So,
one of your favourites. We did joke that might be a fight for the future. Maybe on a Matchroom Golden Boy 5v5.
Ooh,
the one and only.
Stop giving away all our ideas.
That is trademark. No, we don't contract them. We're not promotional. However, if you do make that fight, can we have a shout out?
Yeah.
Maybe like a space on the ring.
Yeah, like sponsorship,
something like that. Yeah, we're very, very reasonable.
$5,000 a month will do.
You've priced us out of bed there, son. I'll be honest with you.
But yeah, that's going to be yet another interesting fight. There was a couple of mentions that we wanted to make for Joshua Edwards, who's heavyweight, who's 4 fights in, 4 stoppages. Another one with a good amateur background. Gold at the 2023 Pan American Games, won the USA Boxing National Championship, and represented USA in 2024. Didn't pick up any medals.
So he likes me. No point going then, will he?
But did represent his country there, and obviously since then been very busy. 4 fights this year, which is where he's picked up all of his knockouts. Sure, he'll be looking to do the same.
Yeah, and he's got a tough opponent, 5-1. And just a quick note on him. Obviously, we don't know absolutely everything. We do our research. And I was reading earlier, and he's actually a very small heavyweight. So he's 6'3", which I'm not saying is small, but he sits between that 220, 230 pound mark. So very similar to stature-wise, I'm going to assume. Not put them side by side yet. I need to reach out to them. But very similar, I'd imagine, to Richard Torres Jr., who was a 2020 Olympian who won the silver medal. Who's phenomenally talented. Again, one of the future. Yeah, he's going to be one of the future princes of the heavyweight division. But yeah, very exciting. Very exciting.
Absolutely. And then Amari Jones as well, another middleweight on the card.
Yeah, love the middleweight.
14-0, 12 knockouts.
His transition to the pros has been flawless. Flawless. Also trained by Virgil Hunter.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and he's already ranked in the top 15.
It's crazy.
By the IBF.
That's crazy. When did he turn pro? Did we say 2022? I
Not
think.
written
Wasn't it?
that down.
What? I'm sure it was 2022. Might have been
Might have
21.
been.
I think it was. I want to say December 21.
Rings a bell.
But either way, really good. Turned to the pro really, really well. 12 stoppages in 14. Don't get me wrong, he's not got anyone particularly notable yet, but they'll come.
Yeah,
And when they
absolutely
do,
will.
and I think he's got that perfect blend from what we've seen of that amateur to pro. He's able to mix up his shots. He's able to land in volume, to score points, win rounds. But well, I'm being funny, but 12 in 14, he clearly knows how to plant his feet as well.
Yeah, clearly bangs a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay, we will go through the card then for your winners. So
I need to be, just for clarity, this is the first one we've done. The board is on its way. I'm going to be more serious.
vote with your head.
Vote with my head.
Predictions. Ortiz Lubin.
Okay, so I'm going to go that Ortiz is going to stop Lubin. He's going to win. So Ortiz win 3rd round.
Perfect. Fulghum and Stevens.
I'm going to go Stevens. I think he's got more to his game.
Okay.
That's
Safar
from
and Miller.
That is a tough one because we don't know enough about either. However, to beat an aging Kovalev, it's enough for me to pick him on this one. I'm going to go Safar, stoppage.
Brilliant. Priest and Correa.
Tough one. I'm going to say Priest will win it. I think it'll be a decision. I don't think he'll stop him. I do perceive that there's going to be some trouble with this one. I think Priest might get himself in a little bit of bother.
Okay, we'll see. Perfect. Right. Those are your winners. What's going to be the best fight of the night?
2 questions. Do I get extra points?
No, you don't get extra points.
No, but if I get the result right, like knockout, for example.
No, we're not delving into all that.
All right. So, sorry, fight of the night. Ortiz Lubin.
Got to be. And the upset?
Stevens. Against Fulghum, for clarity.
Fair enough. Okay. What about a card rating for this? How do you think it goes out of 10?
Would have scored really highly if it had Floyd Schofield and Jojo Diaz still on the card. I think that was a good fight. Still high though, still a decent card. I think good depth, some good fights in there. 7.5.
7.5. We're bringing in 0.5s.
Can't decide.
0.5s.
Seven's harsh, isn't
Don't
it?
do 0.5s. 7 or 8.
I'm gonna go 8 because I really like Virgil Ortiz Jr. Even though I slagged him off to the heavens about 26 minutes ago.
And I will rate the robot then. So we'll have a little bit of a look at that.
Guys, I'm not going to let us down this time, okay? We are currently 14-13. We're a point down to RoboCop.
That all ends now. Maybe not though. So Ortiz to win.
Bye.
TKO round 7 to 9.
Bonus points for Tom.
Fulghum to win. TKO rounds 5 to 7.
Okay.
It's actually so Eric Priest to win decision or late TKO.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Safar to beat Miller Jr. as well.
Okay, so there is an opportunity on that card for us to get our point back. Now, one thing I would like to ask, because you are taking some accountability for my scoring ability.
Yep.
Are you okay with my predictions?
I mean, the Stevens one's the only one where I'm a bit not sure, but other than that, yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, look, I'll make you a deal. If I get it wrong on Stevens, I'll retire and I'll be replaced by whoever you want.
Perfect.
Brilliant. You got a list.
Traffic cone.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Amazing. And on that note.
Right. Thank you for that, everybody. Of course, let us know what you thought. Let us know what you think, your predictions, all that stuff. Pop it down in the comments. Make sure to keep an eye out on our TikTok as well. Follow us there if you don't already. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you later, guys.